Okay.
My mother always wore this around her neck until one day it disappeared. I was wondering where it went. She said it was a birthday present from a good friend. I just had another glimpse of a memory, John. It's fuzzy, but I'm sure it happened somewhere in the manor.
Why are we moving forward? Shall we go?
Really not sure if I chose the right person there. Huh. Well,
How do you do?
So.
not bad. Nothing really we can do about it.
You know, I envy you, Sherry. You can talk to other people and they won't ignore you.
And I envy you. You can ignore any person you're bored with. You don't miss out on much. Most men are dull, unlike yourself.
Well, I'm flattered.
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
Looking for a double door.
I had a surprise for my mother. I was holding an ancient Greek vase, or rather, quite a big piece of it. You had a shovel with you, John. I remember now. We dug up the vase from Greek ruins here on Cordona and were eager to show my mother right away. For some reason, the door was closed. We knocked.
But nobody answered. We thought that she was busy.
So we left the vase and ran downstairs. I decided to gather some archaeological tools in order to take a closer look at the vase.
But then we heard something, didn't we?
Yes. It came from upstairs.
The vase was broken, shards scattered all over the floor. And your mother was standing at the door.
Indeed, John. I doubt it was her. Let me concentrate. Otto Richter was standing there with no visitors. Dr. Richter told us never to disturb my mother when the door is closed. He said she had broken the vase.
But we didn't believe him. I bet he smashed it. Her things are still here.
Presumably Mycroft never felt the need to sort through it all.
Or couldn't bring himself to.
No. He would have put it behind him and moved on. My brother is not one for sentimentality.
Okay.
Look what I found. The White King is under attack. Sherry, can you save him and checkmate the opponent in one move? You're not obliged to be here, Sherry. We can leave any time you want.
Let me play.
Oh, nice move. You saved the king and checkmated the Black King with the rook.
That was actually going to let me.
It's a strange feeling to read about my father's death in the newspaper. I can't recall anything except the deep feeling of loss.
You were too young. It happened before we even met. It's so sad. I'm sorry.
This room always reeked with an acrid medicinal stench. And here is the reason. This picture was drawn by my mother. I recognize her hand. There's a date on it, 8th of December, 1868. This seems a bit odd. I can recognize my mother's style, but it's far too sloppy. Dated 12th of February, 1869.
That's weird.
It's difficult to tell what this is meant to represent. There's no date at all. Straps on the bed. Just doesn't look right.
Oh, I would love to take a bath right now.
Not this one. Surface corrosion suggests it was prone to extreme temperature fluctuations. For medical purposes, I suppose. Seems this was the most frequently used medication. One dram dissolved in a glass of water administered daily. Not to exceed one dose in 24 hours, not to be given to children. Looks like it was damaged by a blunt object. My mother loved flowers. They made her smile. I remember we would bring a new bouquet every week to make her a bit happier.
That's why we collected all the violet flowers we could find on the island.
I don't think there's anything else.
This room always reeked with an acrid medicinal stench. And here is the reason. Bars covering the windows from the inside.
I'm gonna say that she was losing her mind. Oh.
Do you think the doctor could have used these tools here? I hope not.
No labels. I doubt it ever had one. There appear to be residues of the bottle's contents at the bottom. Oh, it brings back some memories.
Oh wow. So I need okay, that's strange.
We had to put the tray with Mother's morning tea down, but why? Mother was troubled that morning. Something we did upset her. Dr. Richter tried to... The broken plate shards were all over the floor. Mycroft had to change his suit as the one he was wearing was completely stained. It's starting to ring a bell. I think it happened in the morning.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
I don't believe you! Liars! Get away from me! It's not true! It's not real!
What? Oh.
Everything will be okay, Sherry. I promise.
It was the morning of the 9th of April, the day my mother died. My mother, she was not just ill, but mad. God have mercy.
I'm sorry. That explains why you locked the memory away.
There must be more, John. That was the morning of her death. I need to know what happened. John!
Every time you... I just don't... Please, Sherry, leave it be.
Just breathe, John. You know that I cannot leave the last stone unturned. We are so close.
I know. But can we at least leave it for another day?
Well, history tells us these memories are triggered by our investigation of other matters. I suspect it could not be forced even if I so desired.
Thank you. How are you feeling about all this? Tell me, I'm not the only one reeling.
It feels wrong, sad. Like they're the memories of another man. I'm struggling to reconcile my love for my mother with the reality of who she was. And worse, what possessed Mycroft to lie about it? There are precious few pieces of this puzzle remaining, John. Let us dawdle here no longer.
Indeed. Wait, did you hear that?
Yes, metallic souls. What is this sailor doing here?
Sherlock Holmes, isn't it? I was looking for you.
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Why would he just
They
walk
call
in the
me
house?
Your new game. The rules are simple. I have something for you, but you alone must work out what that is.
And that something is my prize, I suppose?
You're a fast learner, sir.
Huh. He's a sailor. Why would he have unblemished hair? Or work hands?
I cannot believe that Mr. Vogel has somehow successfully called my attention to his gallery. You're here with an invitation to visit it, obviously.
My word, you are fast, Mr. Holmes. Could you explain how you came to that conclusion?
You have
Of
paint
course.
on your head?
Explanations are my favorite part of any conversation. Hands without any sign of regular physical activity, in contradiction to one who would most usually wear such a uniform. The paint in your hair is pink. I don't know of any military service that paints their ships pink, unless they have launched a new fashionable fleet. A sailor with the soul of an artist? I would suggest rather a gallery employee disguised as a sailor to mislead me. How many artists on the island know where I live and of my passion for deduction? Werner Vogel is clearly at the top of the list. And you've been attempting to conceal something square-shaped within your pocket. An invitation, I suppose. An invitation to Mr. Vogel's gallery.
That was remarkable, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Vogel was right about your genius. I think he may have even underestimated you. This is your invitation. Please tell Mr. Vogel that the seed has been planted. He asked me to tell you to do so, if you win this little game. Farewell.
My dear Sherlock Holmes, as you no doubt have already guessed, I would like to invite you to experience at my art exhibition, not only for the purpose of contemplation of beauty, but in more general need of your genius. You'll find the gallery at the off to the next case we go. Don't really want to keep doing the main story because it's just kind of intense. So, let's do this one. Bazaar Road and Herman's. Apparently I don't have that fast travel unlocked. Probably do, I just need to... Yeah. I just... It's probably the next street. Pharmacy. Yeah, that looked promising. Hello, weirdo. I don't like this guy.
Mr. Holmes, you came. Oh, how kind. Though now, of course, I realize it is because of my game, not the works on display.
It needn't be one or the other. Your man's disguise was easily debunked, Mr. Vogel, but I shall admit that you planted in me the seed of curiosity.
Ah, terrific. I had no doubt you'd put the pieces together. Let us call it an opening gambit before the real game begins.
So, this little game of yours, what's it about?
An enigma to solve. A locked area in the basement with no windows found brutally vandalized. I have no clue how it was possible.
What about this intrusion? What happened?
Last night, I was about to leave the gallery when I heard a noise downstairs. I went to the basement, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It was admittedly a rudimentary inspection. It is not uncommon to get rats down there, so seeing nothing of note, I left and locked up the building. When I returned this morning, alas, I discovered that part of the exhibition had been torched, and there was no sign of the intruder. The mystery being, of course, that all the doors to the gallery were locked exactly as I left them.
And the door to the basement is the only entrance?
Correct. Tell me you're not intrigued.
And this locked area downstairs, what exactly was it?
The under gallery. It's always shut, and I'm the only one with the key.
Ah, so this is your private collection, not part of the gallery.
Oh, no. It's an exclusive exhibition of eccentric pieces. Only a select cadre of artists, investors, and collectors are admitted. Not everyone deserves to have their eyes opened.
Well, this matter is certainly within my wheelhouse.
This intrusion troubles me. Please take a look around if you're willing. The under gallery is through the door at the end.
I will see what I see.
You
Get
sure
banned.
you don't like art, Sherry?
Huh. I'm so getting banned. Where did you say it was? That's the entrance.
I wish I could show you the gallery under different circumstances, but life is beautiful in its unpredictability, isn't it?
Sure. Sorry. Hey Shady, I'm enjoying it so far. Been playing it for a few days now. Just kinda, there's a few things that are
Back home, we've got a
confusing, I
taxidermist.
guess.
He's gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I bring him.
What the fuck is that? Shark? Holy fuck.
Sherry, how about some company in that dreary chamber of yours?
Leave my loneliness unbroken, John. A handprint of the thing from another world. Plus it looks fresh, and its coal origin ruins the effect of the extra mundane.
You know how, I don't know if you've played this before, Shady, but how it doesn't really tell you, or like doesn't tell you what to do sometimes, like you have to figure out. May just be because I'm like slow, but stuff like that, like I was doing, which case was it, the guided elephant, and there was a lot to it that I just couldn't figure out myself. If that makes sense. Like I was at the dig site and there was like stuff there that I just couldn't fucking figure out. You mean like these red symbols right here? I think it means that I need to read them, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it means, right? Was it a sex dungeon? Fuck.
The left step's length is shorter than the right. It indicates that the walker was lame.
Okay. Let me finish this real quick. And then...
Old and hasn't been used for a long time.
You said you go to options, how to play. Oh. Maybe I should have read this. So, casebook, use the list of the blah blah blah. Okay. Thanks for telling me that. That actually, because a lot of it, I think last time was read, and I didn't know what to do. So I think that will probably help me quite a bit. So, search the area. Anyways, whole transfer left.
Closed with a metal bolt.
Oh, someone snuck down here through the fucking hole.
Footprints. Size 9.5.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Probably saved me a lot of time.
Sodden and mold-ridden. One presumes deliberately.
Oh, someone burnt a bunch of his things. Using a
A
Marlboro.
Malpow butt.
Oh, Malpow. I'll call it Marlboro.
Coal fingerprints. I think we're looking for a man with a coal moustache. Ugh, sheer vandalism. Only an ignorant person could do such a thing. The parasites of creativity, or just a reflection of the artist's recreational interests.
The fuck is this?
Saturn devouring his sun. Oh, grim composition.
Unflinching in its ferocity, yet somehow beautiful.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm gonna guess he came down. Oh. That's interesting. Possibly. I don't think it was him. I think it was that guy. Because someone would have had to use the shovel.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
I think that's correct. That's correct. That one's correct. I'm gonna go with that. Okay.
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the hatch bolt. He accidentally pushed a shovel to the floor. Vogel heard the noise. At the sound of his approaching footsteps, the intruder hid inside the coffin. When Vogel entered the basement, he failed to notice anything strange and left without properly checking. The intruder waited until Vogel had left the caravanserai before burning the paintings in Wilde's room. But the vandalism was a cover for the theft. The pieces are not what I expected.
What do you think my collection is about?
Extravagant paintings have been left to rot in a basement. A commentary on decay and the crumbling of society, correct?
I don't know.
Well, that's absurd. Of course you know. It's your gallery.
There is no one answer, no singular truth, but many filtered through the subjective mind. That forgetting, embellishing, lying machine. Besides, What's wrong with a lie if it makes life more interesting?
What's wrong with a lie? It corrupts the ability of others to behave freely and rationally.
Men never act freely and rationally anyway. It matters not what is or isn't in the end. The only important thing is how you feel. And I simply want to feel and consume as much as I can. Don't you?
Feelings are simply one's animal ancestry trying to wrest back control of the brain. I try to avoid the distraction.
You try not to feel, even in a place like this? None of it moves you?
To be frank, I struggle to maintain even a whit of interest in art.
But Mr. Holmes, it is joy incarnate, mankind's greatest achievement.
Mankind's highest achievement above all others is objective and rational thought.
I see then why you dislike art, for it means whatever you want it to.
Or perhaps, Mr. Vogel, I was lying.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Vogel, I have confirmed that the intruder was an average-sized, flexible Malpal smoker with a limp. As it happens, the vandalism was a cover. The true intent was to steal a painting without your knowledge. The fact is, one of the pieces from the Wild Room is not in the wreckage.
What? That is extraordinary.
This thief was familiar with the gallery and he was sporting a limp. Do any of your clients or artists come to mind?
My, your attention to detail is remarkable, Mr. Holmes. I should introduce you to Bosch's works. Alas, I'm afraid I cannot suggest a culprit.
The fire was a clever attempt to hide a stolen painting, even if it didn't fool me. I found the remnants of an empty frame in the pile of ashes. The canvas had been removed. Do you know which paintings in the Wild Room may have interested a thief? Were any particularly expensive?
Those pieces belong to a well-known artist named Boniface Mercurio. They're controversial, but not of a notably high value.
Hey Shady, if you're still here, have you played the other games? Are they worth it? Real quick.
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the latch and dislodged the shovel while doing so. That's the noise you heard yesterday. When you went downstairs to investigate, he hid in the coffin.
It seems I should have checked the space more thoroughly.
There's something more, is there not? I can see it in your eyes.
Indeed. There is another intriguing angle. I recently received an anonymous offer for one of Mercurio's works. The sum was more than fair, and indeed could have saved Mercurio from his artistic poverty. But he declined it.
Was it a performative whim? Some artists lionize pain and hardship as if their work would be worse after a meal and a hot bath.
I cannot tell. But not only did he refuse the deal, he insisted on displaying the painting in the public space. I was hoping to change his mind, but artists are a special breed of stubborn.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's the Lovecraft kind of one, right? I believe so.
What was depicted in the piece?
A bound woman wrapped in robes being penetrated by a red devil that stared at us, the viewer. The beast had numerous tails growing from his back, and a large crowd gathered around the pair, silently watching the orgiastic scene.
Okay.
Yeah, that one looks pretty
given the
interesting,
nature of
so
the other works on display,
might try that
it's
next one.
hard to see why that one stood out. What could possibly be its value?
The evaluation of art is very subjective, Mr. Holmes. After all, art is everything. A poem, a bruise, the beads of sweat on your beloved skin. Even a masterfully solved crime.
I'm not sure I see the connection.
Regardless, the painting was one of a series called The Sabbath Night in Cordona. The works depict sex, violence, and other controversial acts that life, for better or worse, contains.
Ah, I see.
I'm not sure that you do, but that can wait for another time.
So where can I find Boniface Mercurio?
I know he lives somewhere in Old City, but couldn't be more specific. He's a prominent figure, so finding him shouldn't be a problem.
Well, I believe I have enough to begin. Thank you, Mr. Vogel. Your gallery certainly has unexpected depths.
I'm delighted to have been able to please a friend. In return, I expect you to come back with good news. Or at least with a good story.
think I have to go to the city hall, right? Hello again.
I'm curious, how did Mycroft recruit you? I doubt you're a field agent. I imagine you work with intelligence.
That's correct. Your brother noticed me when I tracked down a spy at the archives. That's how our cooperation began. And you? Did Mycroft force you into this?
Not at all. We simply have a mutual interest in someone. Or something.
Of course. A fruitful and willing collaboration, I'm sure.
Well, I'm his younger brother. I have to accept the consequences of being a close relative of an official figure.
I suppose in a way we are colleagues, Mr. Holmes.
In the remotest way possible, Miss Oni.
I always forget that Minecraft's or Sherlock Holmes' brother is like a bigwig official. Okay. Subjects. Citizens. Oh. So you will know if you're at the correct archives if there's a red book symbol on the clue when you're in the screen. So, sorry, just checking. Are you saying that maybe I should go to the police archives instead? Oh. Thanks for that. I would have spent days there. There's a third archive or just the two? Sorry. I only know of the city hall. Oh, maybe there's another one here. Could be totally wrong, but just check really quick. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. I don't think I've found the third one yet, but I will.
Stop the presses. Who is Cordona's handsome stranger? Or Nosebaggerspun's local life? Wait, no. Foppish foreigner hides dark past. Oh, you've made quite the impression already, Mr. Holmes.
Of course,
Care to
I'm
tell
Sherlock
your
Holmes.
side of the story?
I'm quite certain I have no idea as to what you refer, and I am further certain I have no interest in indulging your gossip.
Gossip. The truth will come out. but will only be heard if told well. Scandal, daring do, romance. These are the tools of every good journalist. Nothing travels faster or lasts longer than a great story. Young man, your tale will be told with or without you. My readers demand it.
You already knew my name and seem aware of my doings here in Cordona. I presume this newspaper is your little endeavor?
Yasmin Sertel, editor-in-chief of the Cordona Chronicle. Advocate of the free press, voice of the people, scourge of the silk stocking.
Charmed, I'm sure. As an advocate of the free press, I trust you'll permit me to consult your archives? There are gaps in my knowledge of Cordona.
Oh, so my work does have merit. Well, I think we can strike a bargain. I shall provide you access, and you let me keep writing about your exploits.
So be it.
Brooding bachelor builds bridges. Now that's character development.
I guess I owe you my gratitude.
What can I say? I've always enjoyed working with the Holmes. They whisper such interesting things.
Okay. Where are your icons? Here? Ah, okay. In somewhere. Okay, figured it. Harmon's Ave and Scarlet Street. Oh. Okay.
Mr. Holmes, I have something for you.
That's me.
Mr. Holmes, I see what you're up to. Mysterious stranger pursues betrothed woman. But please, let us keep things professional. I have in my possession an envelope containing details of a special assignment for you. Tell me, are you interested?
I believe I am, but to be very clear, Miss Sertle, my interest extends to the message and not the messenger.
So he claims he's not a gal sneaker, seducing women everywhere he goes. Perhaps the truth is even more scandalous?
Please spare me the speculation and return to the matter at hand.
Hey,
The
she
honest
devil.
smugglers,
How you doing?
thieves, have
Thanks for
Cordona in
dropping
their
by.
clammy grip. The British Empire can abide it no longer. Mycroft insists they be disbanded. But this organization only falls with the capture of their odious leader, Friedrich Panzer. And note well, I did say capture, not kill. Inside your envelope is a map marked with the eel's warehouses. But alas, we do not know in which Friedrich Panzer resides.
So even Mycroft has his limits.
Indeed. You must be sure to identify the correct warehouse before entering, because once one is compromised, the other's occupants will scatter. Here are all the files, and feel free to use the archive too. Again, do not enter the wrong location, nor see any harm done to Friedrich Panzer.
Miss Sertle, if you're quite done with the redundant instructions, I shall get to work.
Well, that's perfect. Tortured hero lashes out after rejected romance. Tomorrow's edition will be a sensation.
Fucking press, man. You said not bad, absolutely knackered, if I'm honest. But we all cool. I'm pretty good. Feeling way better than yesterday. My voice is not... How do I say that? My voice is keeping up. Yesterday, at the end of my stream, I could like barely talk, so today it's going better. Yeah, you too, Shady. Thanks for stopping by and thanks for the tips. They helped out a lot. I'll see you next time, I'm sure. You